A new era in New England looms after Tom Brady left for the Buccaneers in free agency. Brady spent 20 years with the Patriots and won 6 Super Bowls along the way. The last time the Patriots had to go on without Brady was back in 2008, a year where they had to rely on Matt Cassel and still managed to win more games than the Browns have since 1994. How did the Patriots fare without Brady? And what does that mean for them in 2020? Before we jump into the 2008 Patriots, I'd like to take a second to acknowledge that the majority of our viewers aren't subscribed to the channel. Jackson and I are both college students and hope to one day make this our full-time job. So please, if you do enjoy, consider subscribing and helping us on our journey here on YouTube. Thank you and enjoy the video. The Patriots came into the 2008 season fresh off of losing Super Bowl 42 to the Giants. The loss put an end to a previously perfect 18-0 season. The loss was crushing, ending a run that had New England on the brink of NFL history and their 4th Super Bowl in 7 years. But the Giants ended their hopes and dreams in a game that Tom Brady has dubbed the hardest loss of his career. Brady was healthy to start in 2008 and was hungry for redemption, but tragedy struck. For the unforeseen events that led to the Patriots losing the reigning NFL MVP, we're going to throw it on over to our good friend Cole Adams. Take it away, Cole.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you, Jackson and Darren, for having me on the channel. Patriots road to a potential 4th Super Bowl started in week 1 at home against the Chiefs. New England got the ball to start the game. The drive went 8 plays with Brady completing 5 of 8 passes, including a completion to Wes Welker that resulted in a turnover after he fumbled the ball. The Chiefs went 3 and out before putting the ball back in the hands of Brady. 6 plays later, the Patriots had a 1st and 10 on the Kansas City 42. Then it happened. As Brady dropped back to pass, safety Bernard Pollard was shoved to the ground while trying to sack Brady. Brady released the ball and found an open Randy Moss, who went on to fumble the ball for another turnover. Meanwhile, Pollard, while on the ground, lunged at Brady, connecting his helmet to his left knee. Brady went down in agony. After, Pollard said he was in a lot of pain. When you hear a scream, you know that. It was soon after announced that Brady had suffered a torn ACL and MCL, requiring surgery that would end his season after throwing for just 76 yards. At the time, it put to an end a 111 game streak of consecutive starts for Brady, dating back to his first career start in week 3 of 2001. Suddenly, the Patriots were forced to go on without the future GOAT, and the world would see how the Patriots would fare without Brady.
Thanks a lot, Cole. After the video, go check out Cole Adams if you haven't already. His channel will be in the description. Bill Belichick and the Patriots turned to their backup quarterback, their 2005 7th round selection, Matt Cassel. Cassel was thrusted into the starting job in the first quarter of the season and started off big, capping off his first drive with a touchdown pass to Randy Moss after connecting with him on a 51-yard pass. The play he scored on was called the Randy, where Moss literally just runs a post and destroys whoever was in coverage. The Patriots took the lead and never relinquished it, taking down Kansas City 17-10 behind 152 yards and a touchdown from Cassel. A lot of people modified their expectations for the Patriots after Brady went down, but the Patriots just kept going. In week 2 against the Jets, Stephen Gostkowski connected on 4 field goals, helping the Patriots to a 2-0 record to start the season despite the loss of Brady. The Patriots fell to the Dolphins in week 3, putting them at 2-1 going into their bye week. The Patriots would go on to beat the 49ers on the road in their first game back from the bye and went on to fall to the Chargers in week 6. At home against the Broncos in week 7, the Patriots, led by Cassel, won 41-7. He was named AFC Offensive Player of the Week after passing for 183 yards and recording 3 passing touchdowns for the first time in his career. The following week against the Rams, Cassel helped fuel a 4th quarter comeback and capped it off with a 15-yard touchdown to Kevin Folk with less than 4 minutes to go to win the game. The Peyton Manning-led Colts got the best of the Patriots in week 9, but followed it up with a comfortable win in week 10 over the Bills to improve to 6-3. The Patriots fell down 24-6 the next week against the Jets. However, Cassel led the Patriots to 3 consecutive scoring drives, and then with a second remaining in the game, connected with Moss in the end zone to force overtime. He had a wild 400 yards and 3 touchdowns along with 62 rushing yards, but it wasn't enough as the Jets hit a field goal in extra time. The Patriots responded in week 12 with a blowout victory against the Dolphins, where Cassel recorded 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, adding a touchdown on the ground. The following week, the Patriots struggled as Ben Roethlisberger had his way in a dominant victory. Sitting at 7-5 going into week 14, the chances at a playoff run were looking slim. The Patriots found themselves down 21-13 going into the 3rd quarter against the Seahawks. Facing the potential of falling to 7-6, Gostkowski hit a field goal to cut the deficit to 5 before Maurice Morris scored later in the quarter to take the lead that the Patriots would hold on to. New England got into a dominant groove, beating the Raiders and Cardinals back-to-back by a combined score of 96-33. The Patriots came into week 17 with a good 10-5 record record, but needed some magic in order to find their way into the playoffs. New England was on the road against the Bills, needing a win and either a loss from the Dolphins in order to win the AFC East, or the Ravens, who could allow them to secure a wildcard spot. Despite Cassel posting a mediocre 78 yards in the contest, the Patriots shut out the Bills 13-0. New England did their part, but had to tune into the Dolphins and Ravens in their late games. Baltimore took care of business to secure the final wildcard spot after beating the Jaguars 27-7. It all came down to Miami, who were playing the Jets. Miami picked off Brett Favre twice in the first half, helping the Dolphins take a 14-9 lead heading into the locker room. Both teams added a touchdown in the third. Miami was able to extend their lead in the fourth quarter with a field goal. Down 24-17, the Jets were given a shot to tie the game and ultimately try to put New England into the playoffs. On a 1st and 10 on the Miami 29, with less than 5 minutes to go, Favre made a quick pass looking to find Chancey Stuckey, but the ball went right through his hands and into the hands of Andre Goodman, who helped the Dolphins clinch the AFC East. The win ended the Patriots' playoff hopes. Despite finishing 11-5, they became only the second team ever after the 1985 Broncos to go 11-5 and not qualify for the playoffs. A bad year for the Patriots resulted in 11 wins. That's still crazy. To put it in perspective, the Browns haven't won 11 games in a season since 1994. And can you guess who their head coach at the time was? That's right, Bill Belichick. A good defense has been a staple of Bill Belichick-led teams, and in 2008, the Patriots had a top 10 defense and allowed just 19.3 points per game. Belichick didn't panic without Brady and relied on depth. He has always relied on a ball control offense, and it helped that Cassel did a good job of making good decisions and limiting turnovers. Don't let the excelling of Brady in New England distract you from a brilliant system and defense that was handcrafted around him by Belichick. If Cam Newton or potentially Jarrett Stidham, much like Cassel in 2008, can limit mistakes and do as Belichick says, they'll be okay. A more recent example of New England without Brady occurred in 2016 after he was suspended for the first 4 games of the season due to his role in Deflategate. The Patriots turned to 2014 second-round pick Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo was able to win back-to-back battles against the Cardinals and Dolphins to start the season 2-0. He went down with a shoulder injury in their Week 2 matchup, making the Patriots quarterback situation even more concerning. Having to rely on 2016 third-round pick Jacoby Brissett stepped in as an inexperienced rookie fill-in and was able to go 1-1, including a shutout against the Texans before Brady returned. Over the last 2 decades, we've only had glimpses of a Tom Brady-less New England Patriots team. When the time has come, Bill Belichick has risen to the occasion, relying on a capable quarterback and a rock-solid defense that he built up over the years. Cam Newton represents a new era in New England, but that era still has the most important piece of the puzzle: Belichick. As long as he's still leading the way in New England, it's hard to discount the Patriots. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video. I want to give another big shout out to Cole Adams for helping us out with this video. He makes really great content, so make sure you guys go over there and check out his channel and see what he has to offer. Again guys, we hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out guys.